October 31st. A perfect evening to order a pizza for delivery. Particularly this crisp, cool evening that had everyone hurried home for the brand new horror movie called Vampire Swamp 2, which premiered that evening on one of the popular horror genre streaming services called FangFlix. Local pizza joint called Cicero's Pizza served the best pizza in town. The owner, Angelo Cicero, was loved by his community, always making sure his employees were okay financially and made sure they always took extra food home. Angelo usually hired local college students that needed a steady job. All pizza orders had to be placed through their app, which conveniently offered delivery or pickup. This night was beyond busy for both the owner, Angelo, who cooked all of the pizzas, and his 3 delivery drivers, Hal, Theo, and Blaine. All of them grew up together, a tight, solid crew from high school days, including Charlie Cooper, the quiet kid who they usually teased for his speech impediment. He loved heavy metal music and rocked a dangled cross earring. Charlie worked at the pizza joint for a while, helping clean up in the evenings and to do kitchen prep. But the bullying from the other boys seemed to just get to Charlie one day before he just walked out. Earlier that week, things got heated at the pizza shop. Kevin, another old high school friend turned employee, was a complete asshole to Charlie all day. The bullying point happened when a customer called out Kevin for his actions while waiting for his pizza. Kevin, being a hot-tempered individual, hurled a fresh-made pizza at the customer, sauce splattering everywhere across the guy's shirt. Angelo fired him on the spot. "Kevin, get the fuck out! You're done. Pack your shit, here's your final pay, goodbye." Kevin stormed off, cursing, fist clenched, saying threats under his breath before storming off. No one was too shocked. Kevin's tantrums and rage were legendary. Unfortunately, with the loss of Kevin, also came with Charlie leaving too. Honestly though, how could you blame the guy? As the nightfall was coming nearer, orders poured in. First up was Hal, delivering a large supreme pizza, extra cheese, to a house on 100th and Broadway. Getting in his beat-up car, radio blasting thrash metal, he sped off to the destination. As he pulled up to the house, he noticed a figure lurking by the door. The figure was wearing a red bomber jacket, his face covered by a grotesque Halloween mask that looked like stretched skin over bone, topped off with a red-brimmed trucker hat. Hal was barely processing what he was looking at before the masked figure lunged a large knife straight into Hal's neck, twisting the blade before removing it. Hal collapsed to the ground, gurgling on his own blood, soaking the pizza box. The killer, calm, cool, and collected, picked up the pizza box, rang the doorbell, and when the homeowner, a middle-aged woman, opened up, he drove the knife straight into her forehead, killing her almost instantly. The killer slipped away in Hal's car, driving away from the scene as thrash metal riffs from the radio could be heard fading away into the distance. Back at the pizza shop, Angelo looked at the clock. "Hal's late as fuck. Theo, order up. Pineapple, Canadian bacon, green chili to 1107 Elmwood Street." Theo jumped on his motorcycle and sped off to his delivery. He arrived to an empty porch with no light on, pizza steaming in his carry bag. From the corner of the house, the masked figure appeared, face shadowed by the dark porch and the figure's hat. Theo scoffed at first. "Nice costume, weirdo. So, did you order the large pineapple?" Theo was cut off mid-question, as a hammer smashed into the top of his skull, violently caving it in, as brain matter and bone made a mess of the place. The killer watched as Theo's body twitched and convulsed. Stepping over Theo's lifeless body, the killer knocked on the door of the delivery order, bloody pizza box in hand. It was a young couple watching the new Vampire Swamp 2 premiere. After pausing the show and answering the front door, the masked killer swung violently, smashing the couple to a bloody mess, leaving behind a scene that looked like a snuff film. Angelo, back at the pizza joint, had 3 last-minute orders piling up, worried about where the hell the other delivery drivers were, especially since those boys never missed deliveries, always prompt and never late coming back. With 2 drivers MIA and not answering their phones, Angelo called Blaine over. "Last 3 runs, kid. 2 medium pepperonis and 1 large cheese to 6366 Aberrando Drive. Hurry back, bud, and be fucking safe. And hey, if you see or hear from any of those clown friends of yours, make sure they are okay, and then tell them to get their asses back here pronto." Blaine nodded and swiftly headed out with the pizzas. At 6366 Aberrando Drive, Blaine pulled up to see the masked figure already there, holding a pizza box in hand. Wait, how? And who the fuck is this? Blaine thought to himself, before the killer stabbed Blaine in his gut. The killer forcing the knife upwards and gutting Blaine, spilling entrails and intestines to his feet. Blaine screamed in a guttural plea for help. The killer finished Blaine off, slashing across his eyes and throat. The killer's final stop was Cicero's Pizza Shop. Angelo was just closing everything down for the night and locking up when the back doorbell rang. He turned, smiling, thinking it was one of the delivery boys, but froze as he saw the masked figure in front of him. In shock, Angelo responded, "Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing in my kitchen?" But before Angelo could make a move, the masked killer grabbed a circular pizza cutter from the kitchen counter, cutting his throat open, Angelo's hands grasping the gaping wound, as he slowly kneeled to the ground, blood spilling everywhere. The killer's piercing eyes looked down at Angelo in his final moments, as he unmasked himself, revealing who the dark force was behind the mask. Angelo's face was in complete horror and disbelief, as he faded away with the final image of the killer's real face staring back at him. The next morning, police swarmed Cicero's Pizza, yellow tape circling the whole establishment. Same gruesome scenes across town were being cordoned off from the community. Mutilated bodies in houses, driveways, and porches. Detective Cooper arrived, aviator glasses blocking his tears in his eyes, badge weighing heavy around his neck. He grew up with Angelo, knew all the kids that worked at Cicero's. This was a hard scene to endure. Detective Cooper surveyed the crime scene, looking down at Angelo's lifeless body. He saw something all too familiar next to his dead friend. A cross-dangled earring. Detective Cooper knelt down near the body, covering the earring with his hand before placing it in his pocket. Hours later, and many unanswered questions, and police looking for 2 suspects. Kevin, the recent hot-headed employee that was fired, and a drifter that was seen in the area that night trying to enter homes. But Detective Cooper knew it wasn't either of those men. As Cooper arrived home, he was welcomed by his son, who was sitting in the living room. The TV was on, streaming Fang Flicks marathons, with a bloody pizza box on the floor next to the coffee table. "Hey, Dad. Did you find my earring?" Detective Cooper reached into his pocket, taking out the dangled cross earring before tossing it on the coffee table. "I did, Charlie. I did."